Imagine waking up to the roar of a bulldozer tearing apart your sister's only path to freedom, right outside her window at the crack of dawn. That's what happened to me, Marcus, in our quiet Missouri suburb where HOA rules choke the life out of every lawn and mailbox. And the cherry on top, the pompous HOA president, Bryce, hands her a $2,200 bill for removal services, while she's still rubbing sleep from her eyes, smirking like he's just won the petty tyrant Olympics. It all started 3 years back when our parents passed, leaving us 2 cozy houses side by side in Riverside Heights. My sister Delilah, the brains of the family, worked some vague government gig from home, always on calls about federal compliance and appropriations, but she'd just shrug and say it was boring policy stuff. Me, I swung hammers for a living, building things that actually helped people. Then, 18 months ago, a drunk driver smashed her car, leaving her in a wheelchair after months of hospital hell. I built her a perfect ramp, $8,000 of smooth, ADA-compliant freedom. City approved it quick. But oops, the HOA notice went to the wrong address. Bryce, this bloated insurance adjuster with a Lexus cleaner than his conscience, declared it non-compliant and skipped the usual grace period. Rules are rules, he sniffed, clipboard in hand, as the bulldozer crunched metal and wood. Delilah just nodded quietly, tears streaming, while I fumed. But she was already making calls. Calm, calculated ones. Things escalated faster than Bryce's blood pressure at a messy yard sale. Daily fines hit $200 a pop, stacking up like his excuses. He showed up with his sleazy lawyer pal Trevor, reeking of cheap cologne, waving papers. That's $3,400 owed, or we lien your properties. Trevor barked, suit crackling like bad static. Bryce even accused my permits of being fraudulent, like I was running a ramp racket. We're maintaining standards here, he preached, eyes gleaming with that fake moral superiority HOA Karen's love. I dug into records and found his own deck violated setbacks by 3 feet. No fines for him, of course. Selective enforcement? Check. When I confronted Delilah, she smiled mysteriously. Interesting, she murmured, vanishing for another hushed call about discrimination patterns and grant oversight. Neighbors whispered stories. Fines for January Christmas lights, threats over kids' chalk drawings. A Facebook resistance group popped up, and Bryce amped up patrols like a mini-dictator fearing revolt. The pressure built to absurdity. Bryce slapped a restraining order on me for harassment. Me presenting facts at a meeting was now stalking? He spread rumors we were professional victims, funded by radical groups. His voice nasal and desperate. Community values must prevail. He droned at the HOA meeting, PowerPoint clicking through photos of the eyesore ramp. Delilah sat serene, noting every word. I fired back with evidence of his hypocrisy, but his investor cronies rigged the vote, hiking fines to $500. Emergency measures, he claimed, gavel slamming like his fragile ego. Delilah wheeled up, voice steady. Fascinating how associations on federal grants ignore ADA laws. His eye twitched, he had no clue. The climax hit at the big community safety meeting in City Hall, packed with 120 folks. Media buzzing. Bryce strutted, slideshow ready. These disruptors threaten our way of life. He demanded our ban, gesturing wildly. I gave an emotional plea about her dignity lost. Then the mayor grinned, introducing Governor Delilah Morrison. Gasps echoed. Bryce paled like he'd seen a ghost, or worse, accountability. Delilah rolled forward. You've harassed Missouri's governor for months. Those $50 million HOA grants? They're frozen for your violations. Chaos erupted, subpoenas flew. Feds announced fraud probes into his kickback schemes. $240,000 siphoned. Bryce ranted about retaliation, but security hauled him out mid-meltdown. In the end, Bryce got 18 months in federal prison for fraud and rights abuses, plus $250,000 restitution. His company tanked. He fled the state. We rebuilt the ramp with neighbors pitching in barbecues, laughs, real community. Delilah's law reformed HOAs statewide, boosting protections. My business boomed in accessibility builds. Riverside Heights, potlucks over patrols, values up 12%. But here's the kicker. Was Bryce the real victim of overreach, or just a bully finally facing the rules he twisted? You tell me, was justice served? Or is this system rigged against the little dictators? Drop your take below.